Hi, it's Tony at Casa Esmeralda, and it is Sunday, November 4th, 2018. And I'm down here in my orange and fruit grove. So let's go look right now at my grove and what I did before and after, and I'll explain as I go along. Okay, so here, let's get a better view. This is a really nice view yesterday. Oranges! All the oranges from 1.5 meters of rainfall in 2.5 weeks. These are all oranges up here, and these are the European mandarin. As I said, they look like an orange, but they are the European mandarin. Hundreds of them hanging off this 30. It's about a 30-year-old tree. So last year I didn't have oranges because of the drought, and then I had very good olive oil, and that's the thing, is that I don't have any irrigation down here or hoses or anything. So this is all natural growing, as you can see here. And this is no chemical fertilizers or anything. I just let this grow. When I moved in here, it was like this. So that's my neighbor. He doesn't really care a lot, as I said before. Like, he just throws his animal poop out and onto the lawn, and my dogs ate it and they get sick and then they die. Anyways, so he doesn't care, and this is all natural growing. But there's no oranges here on the ground either. And this is the thing, there's no oranges here. There was one orange here on the ground, which is normal out of 100. But I went to my neighbor like 4 kilometers away, and he uses those chemical fertilizers to grow the fruit and to make it market ready and to make them look all nice and pretty and big and wonderful and beautiful, everything. But it's putting like a fruit on steroids, really, because the fruit, it doesn't build up its natural building blocks. It just grows at a very fast and rapid rate and very big, and it doesn't have the strength then to hang off of a tree in 120 kilometer wind. So these, like on Monday, the big storm came in and I did that video, and these oranges, they all hung on this tree. They did not fall down at all, and some of them are ripe. So they hang there, and there was only like 3 oranges on the ground. So they hang there, and the reason why is because over when they start blooming and sprouting and things like that and growing, they build up their natural building blocks to hang from the tree as a fruit, to build up the strength so they can hang there for anywhere from 3 to 5 months. And that's what they did. So this is my winter fruit, as you can see, and this is my grapefruit right here. So hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of grapefruit, and then this is natural, organic. There's nothing, I don't do anything to these trees here. So I don't do anything to these trees. There's hundreds and hundreds of grapefruits all growing here onto the tree. So I did a video before last, I think it was the last year. There was not very many, and I didn't have very many grapefruits. But there's all grapefruits here and here, and I tried one grapefruit. Yes, it was very sour, but this is pure vitamin C, and I have not had a flu shot now in over 5 years. I've abandoned the flu shot because I don't live near rural areas where they have all those diseases and everything. Possibly good to have a flu shot, but I have my own system of a flu shot. So I'll probably make another video of that. So hundreds and hundreds. So this is all in line with the first week of December and the St. Nicholas, and he brings the story that he went down to Milan, Italy, and he picked up these oranges, and these are the oranges from over 100, 200 years ago. This is the one, because these are the natural ones, you know, from like 50 years ago. So my neighbor family, they came here after the war, and they owned all this property. They owned all this land, and they sold it off block by block. So the father sold it, and same with the son. He doesn't really care. So the son, he doesn't really care. He doesn't take care of his property or anything, but he's got all the food growing there and everything. And I seen him once in the grocery store buying fruit in the winter. So last year I didn't have very much fruit, and I had to trade food and things like that to get fruit. But this season I will not need to buy any fruit, which will be nice. So I will save anywhere about $200 in fruit for until April, March or about March. I will be eating my last orange. So there's about a dozen trees here. And there's all this clover. Look at all this clover. If I had sheep, all this clover here. It's just that in some years you don't have the clover because of the rain. So the sheep, they need this clover. This is part of the sheep's diet. But I have Pippi and Ziggy down here today. See, here's Pippi and Ziggy. And they're all chewing away on chow time. And Ziggy has found a way to jump out of the corral, which I have to fix a little bit. So here's Ziggy, and he's happily chewing away on naturally grown foods from 1.5 meters of rain. So it's a very good season. And Pippi is eating some orange peel from yesterday, which I was down here and eating some oranges, so she likes. And these orange peels you can eat because I don't spray them. So the orange peel is actually the one that has the very high natural vitamin C, right? But I don't spray these oranges or anything, so you can eat the whole entire orange. And boy, oh boy, I'm gonna make a video of marmalade, because as soon as they start falling, I need at least 20 or 30 fallen oranges to make a good marmalade. Say hi, Pippi. You gonna say hi to everyone? Happy Sunday. Have a nice Sunday brunch. I'm having a nice Sunday brunch with fresh orange juice here off of a tree. So that's always good. See, there's more oranges here that are growing. And there are more oranges off of my neighbor. And these were the locust. So these are the locust trees which I use to make the corral, and they grow very, very straight and high. So these are the locust trees, and in the back there, those are my teak trees too. So half is my neighbor, and half is mine. It's actually the teak trees belong to me, and then the rest is to the neighbor. So on the other side, and that is all on the other side of the big trees here, the big teak trees. That's also my property, because my property is in a T. And the dogs right now, because the fox has been coming by, they've actually corralled the fox. So he is trying to get out of here for the last half hour. And this is the thing, I had 4 dogs before, and he's gotten really brave to come up to the chicken coop. But Giuseppe now is very experienced. Before they were kind of young. So Lotti really trained them. Lotti really trained them well, and Giuseppe is the last, and he was trained really well by Lotti. And Lotti was a foxhound. And Lotti really knew how to chase foxes. So they're corralling this fox. So anyways, yeah, they've chased this fox. So here are my navel oranges. This is right here. These are my navels right here. And they will grow, you know, to a nice apple size. I've ate a few of these navels here now. And this is a nice size. So these are really the nice kind, you know, they grow to the apple size, but they don't grow to the huge size as they normally would. Like last year, I came back. I didn't pick any oranges for like a month and a half, and there was some huge oranges here, and these are the ones that will grow huge size. So that's the odd thing, is that if you don't have any oranges or any water, there's a few that will just grow gigantic size, because the tree just gives off all the juices in the water to a few oranges. There's all oranges here, which is really nice. So this is my winter fruit supply. There's a navel. There's a nice navel there, kind of hiding in the leaf. So there you go. It's a nice size navel orange growing. It's still a little bit green, but it's edible now. Like as long as it's orange, orange or orange green, it's edible. But it's really sour, and it gets its sweetness as the days go on. In December, it'll hang there for a month, and it'll get really sweet. So now I have my fence up and my gate and stuff like that, so nobody can come in here. That's the Italian thing, that when you have a fence and gate up, you're not supposed to come on the property anymore without permission. Before, I had people, they just wander on the property. They come down here, and I'd be chowing, and I hear people hunting down here without my permission and walking past my front patio with buckets of oranges in their hand and everything. So that's sort of all calmed down now. So this is well, that's a persimmon in the back. So these are the tangerines. These are tangerines, and I didn't really clear any of this. So this is about 2 years. So this is what this looked like before, because to clear just this little section is a lot of gasoline. So I have my goats in here. I'm gonna get more goats, and they're gonna eat all this next year. And they're gonna eat and trample all this, possibly. I'm hoping. So here, there's more tangerines growing there. That's the water sprinkler from which my neighbor put in. He didn't have a permit or anything, so I have not used it, and I'm not gonna use it. And the municipality and that came here, and they disconnected it because he didn't have a permit, and I never used the water at all. So, and he wanted to charge me to use that water system. You know, some people, some neighbors, you know, like he doesn't want to do the work to clean up his own property, and he just wants to take money to you illegally. Anyways, some people, that's how they are. So there's more tangerines here. There's some more tangerines growing here. They're green. See, they're green. These are green tangerines, and these are the little ones, and they get really, these are the really juicy sweet ones. So these are later on. These are like in January, because they're green now. So they take about a good 2 or 3 months to get ripe, and then they'll hang on the tree for at least almost 4 or 5 months. So anywhere between 3 and 5 months they will hang on the tree. That's how long it takes an orange. And I've actually picked oranges for 6 months hanging off the tree, but they were not very good, sort of dried out. And when the Canadian guys came to visit me too, they were eating some of the oranges down here because I left them. Because when I have guests, and I know I have guests coming, I'm going to leave some oranges behind, even though they're not very good. But it's all pure vitamin C. And this is my own flu shot. And they're enjoying their time down here. But this is the thing about, as I said, like, if you're going to go into one of these big block building material or garden centers or whatever, and you're going to buy all these organic, what they say, like they're going to buy, like you're going to buy a regular fertilizer for your garden, just a fair warning, in long-term time, you're not going to be able to grow something like this. In long-term. Short-term, yes. Over a short-term period, maybe a couple years or under 5 years, you can grow stuff like this. But you need to revitalize your ground, right? You need to revitalize everything naturally and let nature do its thing. You know, like some years you have lots of rain and some years you won't have any rain at all, right? So you just leave it, and that's how that's nature at work. There's a nice olive tree in here, but it doesn't giving off any olives because sometimes you need a tiller, and I don't have a tiller. Maybe I get one next year. And here is also some of my bamboo, which I used to make my garden sprinkler system, things like that. Some really nice bamboo. My walking stick is out of this bamboo, and it's very, very strong stuff, very, very strong material. And then down there also is my property. So my property is in the T, and that's my neighbor on the right side. And then my property here, it goes for half a kilometer that way and a half a kilometer this way. So about 1 kilometer left or right, and so it is about just over 9 acres on the back property here, on the back T. And that's all my olive grove down there and stuff. And there's another persimmon tree which I've been walking by for 2 years, and I just saw it yesterday. So there are things here that I still need clearing, and I can't do it myself unless I had help or I had animals or goats and things like that. But fabulous, fabulous year. And I actually enjoy this more than the olives and the olive oil, right? Because the olive oil you sort of need to sell, and it takes up a lot of your time, work time, and this is a lot easier. So I enjoy the olive oil too, and a little bit of money on the side, but this is more our sense that I have a good food supply, and I can survive better off of this instead of using my car and going around and finding other places for food. So but don't ever and use organic fertilizers, because long term you're gonna have crops and trees like this. You're gonna have nice vegetables, nice things to eat. So, and they will stay there for a long time. They will stay there for a whole entire season, like my Lagenaria, the long gourd squash. It will stay there for a long time. So my house is up there, up on the hill, and that's very steep coming down. It's about 45 degrees where those trees are cut up there. So, and here, over here is some of the carob trees, which I probably will do another video on that, right? So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm also now on Patreon. You can support me on Patreon for sustainable, organic farming and organic animals, organic growing, food growing, all this sort of stuff. And then I can buy proper camera equipment, things like that, and make better videos. So this is just basic off a simple camera right now. Okay, so this is Tony and Lottie. No, this is Tony. Lottie's not with us anymore. This is Tony at Casa Esmeralda. If you like my videos, please do like and subscribe. Thank you for those who have liked and subscribed. Please send me your comments or your questions about growing. I'd like to help you. Please do watch some of my videos. It shows you the basic principles on how to grow food naturally without machinery, and very simple methods of growing food, your own good food, and then you don't have to worry about having chemicals and other problems in your life. So take care, bye for now, and have a very nice Sunday in fall.